Hi Ariel, thank you for being with me today.
Good to be here.
Alright, today I'm going to ask you a few questions about stereotypes for women and breaking those stereotypes.
Okay.
So, do you think stereotypes for women still exist today?
Definitely. I think that even though we're accepting more women's bodies, that even though we're eliminating stereotypes, that we're also making new stereotypes at the same
What do you consider a stereotype for women?
time. Like a stereotype that exists, or just
Yes.
I think one stereotype that still exists for women, even though we have more women breaking that stereotype, is that women are supposed to be weak and fragile, and we can't do the same thing that men can do.
Have you been stereotyped in a negative way as a woman?
Um, I think that, in my personal opinion, yes, I have. But when in the past, when I brought it up to someone else, they don't think of it as a negative way. So one stereotype that people have of women of color or black people, well, black women in particular, is that they're more curvy and they have bigger boobs and they have a bigger butt. And I've had big boobs all my life, and constantly being like told, "Oh my gosh, you have such big boobs," and like that being my identifier, I just it's become something negative for me. And when I complain about it to other women, they're like, "Oh, you're lucky to have that problem," or "You don't need to complain about that because I wish I were you," or things like that. And I hate that women think that they have to have certain things in order to be wanted by other people, or in order to be that stereotypical person that's attractive to everybody. And it's so many different things that other people find attractive that it's hard to be one thing. It's hard to be universally attractive. And I just I don't think that my problem should be something else that somebody else wants. And I think being stereotyped that way um, has opened my eyes to how much is wanted by other women to have things that they don't necessarily have.
Is it just part of today's culture to call women a bitch, such as in music videos or in being called a bad bitch? How would you feel about being called this?
Um, Personally, I don't like the term, even if it is used in a positive connotation. Um, I think I don't know. It seems like it's a double sided thing, because when you hear other women call women a bad bitch, then it's kind of like used as a way to empower them. But when you hear men call other women bad bitch, then it's kind of derogatory. And
So you think in music videos and things like that it can be derogatory?
definitely, because it gives women the idea that they have to look a certain way to be considered a bad bitch. So like the women you see in music videos, they always have big boobs and big booties and a small waist. All these unrealistic measurements that a woman is supposed to have. You have to have those things to be considered a bad bitch and to consider it to be wanted by men. And I think there's no girl or woman out there that can say that they've never been wanted by a man or wanted by someone else.
How do you feel about the president of the United States, President Trump, using the word pussy and moving at her like a bitch? Many dismiss that as locker room talk. What's your opinion?
Um, I think as bad as it is, I also think it's a good thing, because um, I feel like when sad to say that this has to happen for women to be a collective, but I think that when men attack women so openly like that, it brings women together to say, hey, you shouldn't, this isn't okay. This isn't the way that we should talk to each other. This isn't respect. Like this is putting us lower on the pedestal of being an equal to men.
What's your opinion on the stereotype that women belong in the kitchen?
I think it's old and tired. And I feel like along with that stereotype that women belong in the kitchen means that men can never be in the kitchen. And I don't like it. I think that it needs to change. And even though that it's slowly deteriorating, I think that it still exists and so many people still think that way. And I think it's time that we didn't disintegrate that stereotype completely.
Why do you think it's hard for women to succeed in certain careers that men prominently dominate?
One reason I think that it's hard for women to succeed in careers that are predominantly dominated by men is because the idea of that has been existent for so long that sometimes we start to believe it, that, oh, this is a man's career or this is a woman's career. And even though we consciously say, oh, I don't believe in that, we unconsciously agree with those stereotypes, not because we want to, but because it's how we've been brought up, or that's the world that we've lived in for so long that it becomes kind of normal for us. And I think sometimes we think that some tasks we can't do because we're a woman, like physical labor or something that requires lots of mental work. But that's not true, and we have many women in history and today that prove that that's not true.
Do you think there are any stereotypes for women that are generally true?
There is a stronger bond between mother and child. But also one thing that plays into that is that women who breastfeed, they have that physical touch with their child, and most of the times they fall asleep there in their arms, and there's so much skin to skin contact that it creates a stronger bond between mother and child. And saying that, most of the times there is a stronger bond, but that doesn't mean that father and child can't also have just as strong of a bond or a stronger bond. So yeah.
What do you think society as a whole must do today in order to break stereotypes for women?
I think the first thing that we have to do is stop undermining ourselves and come together as a whole to fight for something bigger than ourselves. Like, I think the Women's March was a great example of that, and how not just women were there, but men were there too. And I think it represents something that's not gender specific. Like, sure, women need to do this, but just because we're fighting against the male doesn't mean that we can't get hope from them to move up. It's most of the times true, but just like any other stereotype, you can break it, you can disprove it,